Hi, I'm Perry from Unga Guitars and the Unga School of Guitar Making. I'm here today working on my bang build. I am ready to route my pickup cavity, and I was looking at my pickup template here and realized it's pretty rickety. I was getting ready to tape this on, and I was like, okay, I need to improve this. Number one, it's really small, and I am usually using this big router here to get. I'll show you what this looks like. There's not a lot of surface area right here for this router to sit on, so things can get kind of wobbly. If you find yourself in a position where you have an odd shaped pickup and you don't have a template for it, and you think you have to order a template, you don't have to. So this is a homemade template here, and the way I made this was I took some 1/4 inch MDF, or you could use masonite, you could use plexiglass, and I went ahead and rough cut a rectangle that's going to give me enough surface area to fit my router. You can make them bigger, you can make them smaller, it's all up to you. This one was made from a bunch of scrap material. So what I did was I found the center, and then I took, in this case I'm going to use a P90 type pickup, or a soap bar pickup, whatever you want to call it, and I measured it. I measured the length and the width, I laid those out. I used a protractor here to lay out the rough shape of the pickup here, at least to the dimensions given here, and I cut up a bunch of scraps of MDF, and you can see I've got double-sided tape laid out along each side, and I cut some scraps out here, and I've trued up the edge. If you buy a 1/4 sheet of 1/4 inch MDF at the hardware store, you can go, if your edges aren't too bashed in, you can go ahead and use those factory edges. They're usually pretty true. And if you want to double check, I'll grab my ruler right here, and you can put this up to the edge and look for light. And if you don't see any light, chances are that edge is square enough. So I have my tape laid out. I have my pieces cut that I'm going to make a form with, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a couple of pickguard screws here, and I'm going to screw this down. You could double-side tape it. Right now I'm running low on double-sided tape, and the kind of tape that I use I find kind of hard to find in my neighborhood. You might not find that to be the case, so I use this sort of carpet tape. It has a, you can't really see it on here, but it has a weave to it, and it's a little on the thick side. This stuff is so strong, it holds. If I'm getting real rowdy with my routers, it holds it down. If I accidentally bump something, it still holds the piece down, and I've never had any fails with it. So that's the tape I recommend. If I can find a brand on it, then I forget the brand. It's probably 3M, most likely. Then I will share that with you. It's a very, very important part of routing. So I'll get this screwed into place, and then I'll get my pieces of wood here taped down. So you can go ahead and easily peel off all of this plastic here, and you can see the weave on that tape. It's really awesome stuff. I've been using it for many years. It's just a little tricky to find. I found that sometimes the box is marked. I'll go find the same box and it'll have something completely different. A little frustrating. So quick look at this. This is going to be my true edge, the edge facing the pickup cover here, and then I have this cut at an angle. Alright, so I am going to lay this down. Now you can see all of my pencil marks, so I'm going to use those pencil marks as stopping points. So you don't even have to have this on here. You can actually do this without the pickup cover on there. I like to use the pickup cover or even the pickup in place to make sure that I have everything placed perfectly. So I went right up, I took this corner and I went right up to that corner there, and I'm going to do the opposite side. I have this corner cut here, and I'm using my pencil marks once again. And so now I have this here. You can see my pickup fits nice and tight. If you think that you're going to be spraying a lot of lacquer and be having a lot of buildup in that cavity and you don't want to go back and reroute it and mess up your paint job, then what I recommend is wrapping it in tape, maybe a couple layers depending on how thick or thin the tape is, and giving yourself a little cushion. I spray very thin finishes, so I like my pockets to be nice and tight. It's completely up to you. There really are no rules when it comes to that. I'm going to go ahead and stick my sides on here, and it's at this point that I will determine if I need to move anything, and it looks like I need to move one of these, but that's what the rough layout looks like. And what I will do then, once everything's fitting the way I want it to fit, I'll go ahead and press everything down. I'll take it over to my drill press. I'll pull this out. I'll drill a few holes in the middle with probably the biggest bit that I have, and then I'll take this to my router table with a top bearing router bit, and I will route this out clean and pull everything off, and I will have my new pickup routing template. That's very similar to how I made it here, only that I stacked this one because I needed to have a little more height at the time. And to show you, because I have the tape on here, to show you how it looks when I'm placing this down with the tape. I have a center line on here, and I will put this down, find the center, or if I want to have it off center, and then I just put some weight on here and that sucker is down. And then I'll take my router, and the bit that I like to use is one of these 3/8 bit that can make those nice tight corners for these soap bar style pickups. It fits in here perfect, really tight, and I like to take about an 1/8 inch or so off at a time to give me a really clean cut. You could dive this bit all the way down into that body and cut the whole length, but it's going to make your cut really rough. So baby steps, and if you're starting above where the bearing is not touching the template, then come as close as you can. You know, you want to clamp. I have a clamp right here to clamp this body to the bench so that it doesn't move. So I'll drop this down about an 1/8 inch, and I'll come up as close as I can to the template, come up, and then once I can drop that bit down, then and have that bearing touching the template, then I will go ahead and come all the way up to the template and kiss that edge, and then drop it down to whatever my desired depth is. So being that I found myself in the situation where I wanted to upgrade my template to fit the pickup cover that I'm going to use, I wanted to share this with you. This is how I go about making my pickup routing templates, and I'm sure there are many other ways, and there are people doing this many other ways in their own shops, but this is how I do it. So I'm Perry from Unga Guitars. Thank you for joining me. If you know anybody that'll benefit from sharing this video, please do so. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me, visit the website, call me, or comment down below. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.